So we're going to start creating our football coach app. Keeping in mind that we have a football coach, he's very keen to store the names of his players as well as their goals and do things like view all of the details, delete, add, update, etc. Now, it's just good practice to start with a main sub function, and that just means as you add lots and lots of functions, you could call all of them in order from this main function. It is good practice. We'll stick to that for now, and that's where we call our main function. So we're going to begin with the main menu, which is a good place to start for any program. And obviously from here, I'm going to call my main menu. Notice that inside a function, you have an indent, and that's always the way it is. So how do you make a main menu? Now, you could just make lots of individual print lines, such as welcome to main menu. Let's put some lines in there so it looks a little bit more interesting. But even better, if you have a very long string, you can use what's called triple quotes. So triple quotes there, let's go all the way down here and triple quotes to end it. And you can write anything you like and that will be printed to the screen. So in our main menu we're going to have 1 to add a player, 2 is going to be the option to search for a player and return how many goals they've scored. 3 is going to be the option to view all players. 4 is going to be the option to, what else do we want to do, maybe update player record. And finally 5 is simply going to be the option to quit. If you now run this program, you'll see that it prints everything that's on the screen, and so far that's all it does. For the next bit in the main menu, most of you are now quite familiar with if and elif. I'm just going to paste that in. You have a choice, which is your variable choice, and it's going to be an integer. This is not completely validated, but we'll leave that for now. And you have input, enter choice, choice 1, and as you can see, you have all the various functions which they're going to go to. Now, system exit, in order for that to work, you need a little line at the top which says import sys. And obviously, in order for these to work, now if I run the program, it's going to say if choice is equal to 1, doesn't make any sense. It's also saying unexpected indent, so that's an interesting one. Let's deal with that error. That ideally needs to be on the same line with print. You can't just randomly put things anywhere you like. Let's put it there and tab, indent it so it's in line with the print. And now it's saying unindent does not match outer indentation level, and that's referring to this. This is great when you need to troubleshoot because it does teach you little things as you go along. So we're going to sort that out. Remember, the if and the elif always needs to be on the same line. Now this happens, this sort of mistake happens again and again, and we need to come around and troubleshoot for you. So this is quite useful for you to know what is wrong. Now you can see that it's now coming up with a error message which says undefined variable add players. The reason for that is that the function add players has not been defined. So let's make that. Just put pass underneath it so it doesn't do anything at the moment, but it allows you to have it there. Let's make the update, add a pass there, and finally we have a def view all. Right, so we've got our whole setup. And we're ready to start adding some functionality. So if you were drawing a modular diagram, you'd start with the main menu, then you would draw maybe each of these in a box, suggesting that you need to now add the functionality in the actual code to get this to work. Now in part 1, we're just going to focus on the main menu. It's quite interesting. Let me show you how this works. Now, if I write add players here, and this is the add players menu. Oops. If I now click 1, it takes me to the add players menu. But what if I wanted it to go back to the main menu after it finished everything in add players? Now, one option would be to do this. This is called a recursive call. You don't have to worry about what recursion is yet, but it just means that it's within the main menu, it's calling back, and this is sometimes not the best way to do things because it takes up a lot of memory. I'll just show you how this works. And automatically, as you can see, it takes me back to the main menu. A much preferred method of making sure that after every function has run its course, it goes back to the main menu is to use what's called, something you're very familiar with, a while loop. So we're going to go back all the way up here. We're going to use a while loop. It needs to be indented inside the function. I'm going to write while true, and it's as simple as that. Obviously, if I run it now, it's going to say that there's an indent problem because everything that you want to run inside the while loop needs to be indented inside it. So I'm going to highlight all of this and indent it. And as you can see, I've deleted the main menu from there. So if I run the program now, it does exactly the same thing. It takes me back to the main menu, but I've avoided this recursive call, which is, unnecessary and it's a bit sort of repetitive. I'd have to put in a main menu recursive call in every function. So using this while true loop over here to constantly come back to the main menu is fantastic, and this is really an ideal main menu setup. So that's part 1. We've set up our main menu. We're ready to start adding some functionality using dictionaries and lists, a bit of string manipulation, and that will be in part 2.